Got the scene here. It happened near 1230 near 14th and Jackson. Authorities say one person was hospitalized with serious injuries. So far, no word on any arrests or what led up to this incident. And there is more breaking news to report. Omaha fire crews are cleaning up after an overnight fire. It happened at a detached garage near 24th and Grand. This was just after 1 a.m. This is a look at that scene. So far, no word on the cause of the fire. Stay with First Alert 6 as we work to learn more about both of these breaking stories. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Cerise Cole. There's meteorologist Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. We're all been talking about how cold it is this morning. We've had to talk wind chills. This is April, Rusty.
I know. We got a couple of days here. It's going to be a little chilly, even cold over the weekend in the morning.
Yeah.
So let's discuss what we have happening out there right now. Numbers in the 30s, but there's enough of a breeze that it's dropping that wind chill down. So 33 feels colder. Take the jacket with you. May even want that winter coat territory here. Right now, the north wind is about 16 miles per hour, so that's a little pesky out there when temperatures are down in the 30s, 32 to about 37 as of right now over much of the metro area. And you can see where the wider view has some colder 20s up here in west central Iowa, upper 20s, 28 in Denison and in Carroll. Feels like temperatures down in the 20s as well. It is chilly out there when you step out for early April. This is noteworthy with our wind chills where they're at. You got clear skies to start off the day, and frankly, it should be clear to finish the day as well. It's going to be a pretty nice one. Wind gusts this morning, again, up near 20 to 25 miles per hour. Will back off some into the afternoon and evening, so the wind gradually gets better into the afternoon and then overnight as well. First Alert forecast takes those numbers that are chilly this morning, warms them up by 9 o'clock up to about 36. By noon, we're making a run into the lower 40s. And then into the afternoon, it does look like temperatures will be in the upper 40s to right around 50 for a high today. So topping out about 50 by 5 o'clock. You notice with light winds, clear skies, should be a great afternoon, just a tad on the chilly side. Then later on tonight, we'll fall off through the 40s. And you'll notice by 10 o'clock down into the 30s. After midnight, we fall below freezing and could stay there for about 6 to 8 hours heading towards Tuesday morning. Yeah, look at that. 20s for air temperatures tomorrow morning. You got a frigid start to the day tomorrow by April standards. A hard freeze on the way for many of us. Look at the forecast, 25 to 26 to start off tomorrow morning. That's where we're going to be cold enough to freeze up many above ground water lines, garden hoses, many sprinkler system parts that are above ground. Keep that in mind. Plants as well. If you got a little early start on things, those are going to be dinged a little bit. And a morning over the weekend that got about that cold. We're going to see the numbers get better though after that. Notice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 40s and 30s, even a 50 there for a morning low. That's a lot better the way it looks to start off. Slow clap.
The slow clap for the warmer temperatures.
It gets a lot better from there on.
So you mentioned the wind this morning, but the wind's going to be a factor for pretty much of the week.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to the speed and the direction. Every single day, it's of note, it looks like, heading into each afternoon. Notice today out of the north, could gust to about 25 miles per hour. Tuesday, it's out of the south, gusting to near 30. Then Wednesday, it's back to the northwest, could hit about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And Thursday, likely to be the windiest day, gusting up near 45 miles per hour into the afternoon hours. So that's going to lead to a breezy week, kind of annoying. Hopefully it backs off a little bit for Friday, the way things are looking. Thursday being the strongest day of the wind, with a high of 70 on Wednesday looking pretty good. Then into the 60s Thursday and Friday. You're looking at 72 Saturday, 78 on Sunday. Really good weekend shaping up. But again, wind, I think, in play both days. That's part of the reason why we're going to warm up a little bit more each day. Is the south wind trying to kick in both days.
Okay, well, in that case, we don't mind the wind, that south wind. All right, let's see how traffic is going. We had a few crashes at the end of the show you were telling us about.
Yeah, and that includes on 144th, where we have one of those that's still in place. Okay. So you want to watch that as you're getting close to the Giles area. That intersection had been blocked as a result of that crash. So keep an eye on there. It looks like things are moving along in okay shape at the moment, but I'll keep an eye on it, keep you posted with anything else that comes out with that. Not too far away from that, though, on I-80, as you're getting near 144th around Giles, you've got all kinds of backups that are starting to show up as we get more and more vehicles on the road. That's your reason. You've got construction with the lane closure, the left lane closed as you're going westbound from about Q all the way over to the 144th exit. And there is a restriction on that exit itself too. So there's what we've got going on with the delays near that Q to Giles area. And so that's already about back to the 680 interchange. I anticipate that spills back onto I-80 westbound to around 96 or so and onto 680 as you're making your way towards center here shortly. The ramp on 144th to go to 144th from westbound I-80 also showing delays. Again, there's the left lane closed there as well. So stay right, be ready for things to be slow as you're making your way through these construction zones. These are long-term construction areas you're going to be looking at. These last all the way into the fall, so you've got quite the time frame where you're going to be looking at having to deal with this kind of thing. So start making those adjustments this morning. Have the patience for your Monday morning drive, and maybe start thinking about some alternate routes as we deal with this.
Yeah, because that's a mess. We saw it last week too. All right, Jared, thank you. Well, new this morning, 3 people are recovering after a fight at a Metro bar leads to a cutting. This happened at Bogey's Bar and Grill near the Maple exit of I-680 early Sunday morning. Out of the 3 victims, 2 had to go to the hospital. The 3rd declined to be treated. So far, no word on any arrests. Of course, we'll give you a first alert as soon as that changes. A first alert this morning concerning your safety. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office arresting a man after he reportedly walked through a West Omaha park, making threats to children and families. The Sheriff's Office says those comments include racial slurs and statements that the children should die. Deputies searched the area of 196 and F Streets but could not find him. Deputies were later alerted to similar threats matching the earlier description near 201st and D. Kalamullah Rauf is 33 years old. He is charged with terroristic threats. All right, Maria Cade here at the safety desk. You have some information that we all need to hear. We all are trying to live a healthier lifestyle, and you're going to give us some advice on how we can do just that.
Yeah, there's some studies that we're going to talk about today. There's a recent one that shows that what you eat during the middle part of your life is actually affecting how healthy you are when you're older.
Okay, that's
so you want to keep it in mind, keep things in mind early. Now, the study was published recently in the journal Nature Medicine. Researchers followed over 100,000 Americans for 30 years, and they were tracked between the ages of 39 and 69. They found less than 10% achieved healthy aging. And that means that by age 70, those people didn't have any major chronic diseases and their cognitive, physical, and mental health was still strong. Now, the researchers say that specific group of people ate diets that were high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, unsaturated fats, and nuts. You know, the healthy stuff they always tell us to eat. Now, the study authors also say that eating more of that ultra-processed food means that you had a lower chance of getting to that healthy aging by age 70.
All right. Well, you heard Rusty talking about 70s, maybe warmer temperatures coming. I'm excited about it. I know a lot of our viewers are too.
Yeah, for sure. That nicer weather might mean that you might find some new motivation maybe for some health goals that you might have. So there are some experts who have some advice for you if you are in that boat. So experts say if you do have a fitness goal to reach before summer, you're going to want to start now. Now, you can set yourself up for success by eating a well-balanced diet. You're going to want a combination of fruits, veggies, and lean proteins. Again, those same food groups. Also avoiding those processed foods and any added sugars. Next, you want to be physically active. You could do 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week. That is what is recommended. Experts say you should switch it up too. So for example, maybe some days you could do cardio, other days strength and resistance training as well.
I think the biggest key is to not try to go from 0 to 60 right away. We often see a lot of soft tissue injuries the beginning part of the year because people start the year off with a New Year's resolution and they go from not being active at all and being rather sedentary to trying to run 5 miles per day.
Now, to stay motivated, I know it's kind of hard, but experts say build that exercise into your schedule if you are getting started, maybe on a more higher regimen than you've been doing. Getting good sleep is also definitely key. You also want to keep your body hydrated, recharged too. When we talk about sleep, I know it's tough for us.
It is hard for us.
But, you know, we could try and do our best.
I'm trying to do better. And I like how you said kind of ease into it. Just don't dive in right away.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Good information. We're going to all try to do better. Maria, thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are taking a live look outside on this Monday morning. Lots of sunshine. Back here in the Weather Center with Rusty, we should not be deceived, though, by that sunshine because it's so cold out there.
Yeah, down in the 30s, some wind chills in the 20s. That's the biggest story. When you step out, it'll a little shock to the system to start off the day. So we're down near 30 with that sunshine out there. That sun is going to help to warm us up, but overall today is going to be the coldest day of the coming week. 33 feels like 23. That north wind at 16 miles per hour, that's to blame. A lot of numbers in the 30s as you step out. 37 Louisville, Plattsmouth, Bellevue, 32 Fremont and Bennington. And you see where numbers are as you take a little wider view. A lot of 30s, even a couple 20s for air temperatures showing up. Gives you a little indication of what's on the way for tomorrow morning. Some of that air is going to sag a little farther south. Here's your feels like numbers. Mostly in the 20s, couple of outliers. You got a couple of teens to the north, a 30 there in Plattsmouth, but overall the clear skies winning out. No, it's going to be a pretty tranquil week of weather. A couple of small little systems moving in. You can see not too much out there in the middle of the country. There are some small chances of rain to the middle, towards the middle of the week, but we'll get it right up near 50 for the high temperature today and then back off below freezing overnight tonight. And I think we got a good 6 to 8 hour stretch after midnight tonight where we fall off and the winds really back off tonight as well. Strongest this morning, tailing off this afternoon and evening, and then tomorrow it's the opposite. They'll pick up a little bit heading into the afternoon. They'll gust to near 25 miles per hour. So the breeze, a bit of an issue each and every day this week. But tonight's forecast, probably the biggest thing. A first alert to numbers dipping into the mid-20s to start off tomorrow morning. We call it tonight's forecast, but again, the low happens right around sunrise for the following morning, and that's what we'll deal with as the numbers fall off all night down to about 26, and then you can see the overnight lows are a lot better for the rest of the week. 30s and 40s, even getting into the 50s by this upcoming Sunday. So 50 today, 60 tomorrow, 70 on Wednesday. Really small rain chances, and the best odds for rain may be this little system Wednesday night that tries to drop in with the clouds, and you could get a couple little spotty showers, maybe a thunder shower. There's not much to it. A couple of those could linger into early on Thursday as well, but the chances are minimal. Best way I've been describing it is not much rain out there, or lucky to see rain and not much rain if you do.
Okay. All right. We'll take that. So you showed the 50, the 60, the 70. We could see 80 degrees by the end of the week.
I think we're going to get close. So
okay.
Starting to trend that way. Sunday's the day to watch. We get the south breeze kicking back in Saturday and Sunday. So, yeah, a little annoying in that regard. 72 Saturday, 78 on Sunday. And you'll notice here how temperatures fall off into the 60s and 70s next week. But we make a run at 80 degrees, it looks like, by this upcoming Sunday. And don't be surprised if that trends up a little bit. It'll be based on the timing of a little front moving through.
Okay.
And if it works out, we're on the warm side of it long enough, I think we can get to 80 degrees.
How about that?
See how it goes.
Well, that'll make up for those 20 feels like temperatures
right?
this morning. All right, we have to talk about I-80 because we've been watching, and at some points it's been a parking lot.
Yeah, it's literally not moving as you're making your way westbound on I-80, right around Giles or so. And this is why we were giving you the first alert all through the morning and last week that this was going to be an issue. It's in the top left corner there. You see, other spots are looking pretty well, but it's absolutely not the case here, where things have just ground to a halt between about Q and over to 144th. It's specifically that stretch right between Q and Giles is where you're looking at the worst of it. So here's what it looks like in map form. You've got the delays that are starting to get near that 680 interchange. Don't be surprised if you're using southbound 680 or westbound I-80 as you're getting somewhat close to that interchange if you start seeing things stack up as the morning goes on. So you really want to start thinking about what are my other options over the next several mornings that you can try to avoid this, because I do think this is probably going to be an ongoing thing that we have to deal with for our morning drives. Unfortunately, your options are a little limited. You've got construction going on 144th as well, so you could use 132nd and try to wind your way to Giles. That's not a real smooth route, and it gets kind of congested around Giles anyway in the morning drive, or maybe you just make your way west and east on some of our other roads such as L and try to make your way around as best you can. It's not an ideal situation, but you can see how I-80 is really grinding to a halt there. few other delays as you're heading eastbound Blair High, approaching 680, seeing some slowdowns, as well as 370 as you're getting pretty close to I-80. You've got eastbound getting some slowdowns taking place there as well. But most spots are doing pretty well. It's just that stretch of I-80 that absolutely, positively is not.
Yeah, if you can avoid it, do it, right?
Yes.
All right, Jared, thank you. Well, happening tonight, a community meeting aimed at keeping you safe on the roads. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is hosting a meeting focused on the recent arrest of the man accused of placing those items on Highway 36 and causing crashes. Remember that? 22-year-old Spencer Rademacher is facing charges of felony attempted assault in connection with the case. The meeting is at the Bennington Fire Station. In case you want to know, it starts at 5:45. Happening this week, watch out on the roads. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies are looking for distracted drivers. So April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, if you didn't know. And in honor of that, the office is participating in the National Put the Phone Away or Pay campaign. So that begins today and it runs through Sunday. Up next, did you have a diary growing up? Maybe when you were little, but one North Dakota woman is still writing. Find out how long and what memories she has when we come back. Well, a 100-year-old woman in North Dakota has her memories in order. She has not missed a daily diary entry in nearly 90 years.
Wow.
I know. A picture. Well, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Luckily for Evie Risky, she has both. She has all the memories written down from getting her first diary at 10 years old, remembering her 21st birthday, where her dad made popcorn and they played canasta.
Yeah, her daughters have their parents' wedding photos, of course, but they also have the accompanying script, too. Also, I read that she has all the memories from their births as well, so that's pretty interesting to read and go back. Even through all the craziness, Evie always found time to write. So that's really awesome. She's 100 now, and to think 90 years every single day, that's a big commitment.
And what a gift to her children and her grandchildren.
Yeah,
all that history.
Time capsule,
Yes. Yeah. Doggone it. Did you guys ever, do boys have diaries?
I mean, I didn't journal once in a while.
I experimented with it. I was not as committed as Epi.
No.
Did you have a diary?
I had one. I remember this is when the technology started to grow. When I wrote it, it was actually invisible writing. So you had to shine a special light on it to see the message.
Okay. Do you still have it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
now we belong.
I started when I was younger, like, in high school, even in college, and I was like, I don't know if I want everybody reading this plate.
That's why I had the invisible one.
That's smart. I need that invisible ink. You're on to something.
Don't want them to know that. Don't want them to know that.
Right.
Cross
You know
that
what?
out.
They say journaling is good for you, so maybe I'll pick that up again.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in today's show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air. We sure hope you have a great day. We'll see you on TV.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole. We want to get right to First Alert 6 traffic with Jared Lansford. He is tracking that super slowdown on I-80.
It's all tied to the construction that is happening there. The left lane closed as you're going westbound. And it's right around Giles where you have that lane closure. Things backing up in a big way. You're looking from near L Street, and that's what you're seeing, near a standstill. Those delays just about at the 680 interchange likely will spill onto I-80 westbound and 680 southbound here shortly. So be prepared for those big delays to be something you have to contend with as you're approaching that area. You might want to start thinking about some alternate routes. One possibility, 132nd to Giles, though that often gets pretty delayed in the morning as well. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. You heading east, you got the sun glare to deal with as well. You can see beautiful sunshine. That's going to allow us to warm up, but it's also led to a chilly morning. 33 feels like 23 when you step out. The air has got a bite to it with the clear skies. Some high clouds to the north trying to drift in, but those even fading as they head our direction. So enjoy the sunshine today. Wind gusts up near 25, maybe 30 miles per hour for a bit this morning, and then they'll back off this afternoon. So looking lighter for the afternoon hours, which is good news there. Less and less wind as we go through the day. We'll try to warm up. We can take the 30s this morning, turn them to about 50 degrees with sunshine this afternoon. Pretty enjoyable one, although about 10 degrees colder than we should be this time of year. And colder will be the name of the game. Tonight, we will dip down into the 20s. So get colder and colder after midnight, especially heading right up towards tomorrow morning when we see our lows that dip down into the 20s. A hard freeze on the way for one more morning. Cerise?
All right, Rusty, thank you. Well, some breaking news this morning. One person's in the hospital after a cutting in downtown Omaha. It happened about 12:30 near 14th and Jackson. Authorities say one person was hospitalized with serious injuries. So far, no word any arrests or what led up to this incident. It is 7:28, and we are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.